then I don't think, I'm with you on that, Jose. I mean, enough of this, everything's an accident.
Yeah.
Some things have to be accounted
My understanding
for.
is there were 2 lanes of traffic that were crossed by the truck.
Yeah.
In order to hit the people, and that there was
See,
there
now-
were no brake marks. I mean, it was sort of as if never knew you were there.
Because by that measure, then you could have hit another motor vehicle.
Absolutely.
You could have rear-ended another motor vehicle. I mean, if you're crossing 2 lanes and you're not where you're supposed to be, then you can hit anything. Do you think there's a little bit of a bias in this town against bicycle riders? Because we're not a very fitness-oriented
There's
city.
a bias against them in the state.
Michael, you were saying, places like California where everybody's a fitness nut
York,
and everybody's
DC,
on a bike.
correct.
And New York, you get very used to these bicycle messengers. They're all over the place. They're in traffic. And they're not in a bike lane. They're in the
actual
traffic lanes.
correct.
Are we sort of biased against them because most of us don't do it, and we think, who are these, granola bar eating, fruitcakes? I mean, maybe that's maybe that's a tough hill for the lawyers to climb in this case, Jimmy.
Okay.
Less sympathy for the bike rider.
I'm going to explain it to you, Jack. Here's how it works, because I'm one of both of them. I'm a bike rider and I'm a car driver, and I tell you what happens to me at the times where I get upset. I mean, as a bike rider, I think like this. I think, all these people who are driving vehicles don't like us. They're always mad at us, right? Then I get in a car and I say, well, they ought to be mad at us. There's a reason why they're mad at us. Because when you're heading out Blanco, out to the spec soccer fields, bike riders will get on Blanco Road and ride shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, they're telling a joke or an anecdote. They're finishing a story. And they're in no hurry whatsoever, because as Michael says, it's just recreational to them.
Right.
The rest of us are in a car, and we're always leaving at the last minute,
Right.
and we're in a hurry to get someplace, and they show us absolutely no respect. So you have this kind of automatic consternation that develops. So sometimes I'm the bike rider, and I try to think like a driver. Sometimes I'm a driver, and I try to think like the bike rider. And if we all do, nobody's going to get hurt. It's it is. It's about. I'm trying to educate you guys and give you a little more empathy for people on both sides.
All right, well, keep trying. We need it. Jimmy Parks, Jose Menendez, Michael Shackelford, more Gang of Four on KTSA.
News headlines coming up at 11:20 on 550 KTSA.
Karen Klaus, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jack.
How are you?
I'm good.
Gang, say hi to Karen Klaus, best-dressed radio news anchor in San Antonio.
Hey, Karen.
Good morning. Good to meet you.
And our Gang of Four today.
Yeah,
Very,
I've been listening.
It's like a GQ Gang
I
of
know.
Four
I've been
today.
trying to peek over this computer screen.
She's distracted from her
I
script
am.
by these men. Have you heard about the death ray in Las Vegas?
No, I mean I saw the little headline, but what are they talking about?
Guests at a new hotel in Las Vegas. Have you guys heard about this? The Vidara Hotel?
Yes.
Are complaining of receiving severe burns from a death ray of sunlight caused by the unique curvature of the glass facade of the building. It actually takes the rays of the sun and shoots them down, focuses them, reflects them down onto sections of the swimming pool area and the sunbathing area, and people are getting severe burns on their skin.
Not just sunburn, I mean laser burns.
I got to go to the hospital. Burns.
My goodness.
Chicago attorney Bill Pintus was on vacation. He said it was like I had a chemical burn within 30 seconds. And the spokesman for the hotel says they were aware of the issue and designers are working with the resort staff to come up with a solution. Can I just make a couple of observations
Please.
here? It is Nevada. It's like 120 degrees.
Right.
I mean, really. You're like on the surface of the sun.
You really are.
Number one. Number two, I predict that a year from now, not only will they not have corrected the problem, Karen, they'll be charging for it. It's going to be an attraction to take.
Come on. Let's bet on who gets burned.
Instead of a chemical peel.
Jack Riccardi, 10 to 1, 550 KTSA.
It's not a problem. It's a theme park. It's an attraction. All right. 11:10 on News Talk 550 KTSA. On the gang today, Michael Shackelford, Jose Menendez, Jimmy Parks. You're voting in the JR poll at 599-5555. Guys, pull on your headphones. I want you to hear this. This is very interesting for those of you that are political junkies. You may remember, or you may be too young to remember, that one of the most emblematic TV ads campaign television ads of the 1980s was an ad for the Reagan-Bush re-election campaign in 1984 called Morning in America. And I want to play that for you and then play you the 2010 version of that ad. But first, from 1984, this is the Reagan-Bush Morning in America TV ad.
It's morning again in America. Today, more men and women will go to work than ever before in our country's history. With interest rates at about half the record highs of 1980, nearly 2,000 families today will buy new homes, more than at any time in the past 4 years. This afternoon, 6,500 young men and women will be married. And with inflation at less than half of what it was just 4 years ago, they can look forward with confidence to the future. It's morning again in America. And under the leadership of President Reagan, our country is prouder and stronger and better. Why would we ever want to return to where we were less than 4 short years ago?
So that was 1984. Now somebody, I think this is very clever, no matter what side of the debate you're on, has made morning, M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G, in America. This is the 2010 ad. Take a listen to this one.
There's morning in America. Today, 15 million men and women won't have the opportunity to go to work. Business is shuttered. 2,900 families will have their homes foreclosed by nightfall. This afternoon, 6,000 men and women will be married, each of their children to be born with a $30,000 share of the runaway national debt. Our government is now taking over the choices we once made in life. There's morning in America. Under the leadership of President Obama, our country is fading and weaker and worse off. His policies were a grand experiment, policies that failed. This November, let's choose a smaller, more caring government, one that remembers us.
All right, so, you know, the both parties are saying, we've got a record, we're going to run on it. I listened to that second ad, and by the way, we have both of those on the Jack Riccardi page at ktsa.com. You can watch them on the Jack Riccardi page. I listened to that ad, and I think, I don't know, what party would you vote for if you wanted the smaller, better government that announcer is talking about? Let's face it, they both had a crack at that recently,
Right.
and they didn't give it to us. So it's true that Republicans have this very clear blueprint, run against Obama and blame him. But why would anybody believe that things would be different under them?
I guess it's just no real alternative. You know, that kind of propaganda ad is just designed to try to grab some voters and bring about change. It doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter how you evaluate it.
So when we're unhappy, we just swing the pendulum back to the other, whoever's out, we put them in.
No, not Jose. I mean, there are certain individuals.
Yes,
there
I
are
want
certain
Jose to
individuals.
remain in office.
There are certain individuals that can do something. I mean, they've got at least the opportunity to help. And I know he's working very hard to try to help in that area. Me, on the other hand, I'll tell you, Jack, I'm just helpless. I have absolutely no control over that. I just get up in the morning, I go to work, and I hope and pray that things get better. The one single thing that will give me the opportunity maybe to help correct things is to say, what have I got to lose?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just vote for the other party.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it can happen that people rationalize it like that because they're virtually helpless to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.